What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Friday, December 20th, 2019. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the best hair in the business, Fran Mirabella III.
Top of the afternoon to you.
Oh, a little Irish. Why not?
I don't know
Let's get crazy.
It's almost lunchtime now.
It's
Special
almost lunchtime.
episode.
It is the last episode of Kinda Funny Games Daily for the year 2019.
I'm honored to be
You know, as I said,
the feather in the cap.
You are the cherry on top, Fran.
I guess.
No, as I said, Fran Mirabella III, I realized I haven't, or the best hair in the business, I haven't hosted with you in a long time.
It has been a long time. That was actually, honestly, was the real reason I was excited, because normally it's when you're out, or Tim's out, or, you know, and I never get the opportunity to host with you. And it's been months at least.
Wow.
I'm
I just
excited.
host everything else with you. Borderlands show, Gamescast, they all blur together, you know?
Yeah, and we make fun of each other the whole show. We hate each other, so it's going to be a great episode.
Well, again, it's just the fact that you sold me out for
That's right.
$15 on Twitch. God forbid you stick it out, play PlayStation 4 version.
It's all about those Twitch extensions, man.
They work on PS4 now. They were going to work. You just wanted a month. You had a month. That's all it was, a month.
Right. So people, we were supposed to play on the PlayStation 4 for Borderlands 3. That's what this is about.
Fran said he would. He pinky swore that he would play Borderlands 3 on PS4 with me.
And I was going to, but the
Gearbox
Twitch
introduced
extensions didn't
and they
work.
didn't immediately work on PS4, so Fran had to run to PC.
So you agree it's their fault. We've
And
settled it.
I do. Well, yeah, sure. They tore us asunder. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. Enough about that. Today we're going to talk about Telltale, not being the old Telltale. CD Projekt Red and their author of The Witcher books coming together once more. And good news for Stadia again, because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindafunnygames with your questions, comments, concerns, your squad ups, and everything under the video game sun. Then tune in to see, no, hold on, sorry. If you're watching live, tune in to watch us record it live, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. If you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up, so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, roosterteeth.com, and listening on podcast services around the globe. Housekeeping for you. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, this is the final episode of Kinda Funny Games Daily for 2019. Don't fret, though. We will be back and better than ever, of course, on Friday, January 3rd, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. It is the Kinda Funny Day, 5th anniversary stream. We will be announcing Kinda Funny Games 4.0. We'll be talking about all the cool things we're doing in 2020. You know the drill. However, if you're one of these people going, wait a second, that's still a long time without Kinda Funny content, you are not out in the dark. Remember, Monday, we will post the Kinda Funny Games cast. Then Tuesday through Wednesday on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, the PlayStation VR show Season 2 goes out.
Woo!
Thursday is the Kinda Funny podcast on youtube.com/kindafunny. Friday, the Mandalorian in review finishes. Can't believe that's happening. Then Monday through Thursday, more episodes of the PlayStation VR show. And then Friday, January 3rd, the stream to end all streams. Kinda Funny Day 2020. What will happen? Will Barbara Walters and Hugh Downs show up? Who knows? Is Hugh Downs still alive? I also don't know. I was also thinking about this, Kevin.
It's Barbara Walters.
We need to tell Cool Greg. He never. Weren't we supposed? We said in the PSVR season, right, that we'd put the MP3s of the PSVR show up on Patreon. That would be downloadable for free. All that stuff. We got to get MP3s all the shows.
Okay, cool.
Can you slack them for me?
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Thank you to our Patreon producers, Blackjack and Mohammed. Today we're brought to you by Third Love, Upstart, and Logitech, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 5 items on the Roper Report.
Oh, Baker's dozen!
Are we officially at the bottom of the barrel for Game News 2019? I'll let you be the judge. Number 1, CD Projekt Red and The Witcher author have signed a new agreement. CD Projekt, what? Is that?
That sounds exciting so far, Greg.
CD Projekt, they dropped the red for some reason in this official press release. CD Projekt, creators of the Witcher series of games and the upcoming role-playing game Cyberpunk 2077. Today with Andrzej Sapkowski.
I'm going to go with Andrzej
Sapkowski. I got down.
Yeah. I think it's
Andre. Andre?
Oh, let's go with it.
We're
It's
just
a
going to
tough
say
Polish
Sapkowski
name, I
from here on
believe.
out. Author of the Witcher books would like to inform that today both parties signed an agreement further solidifying their relationship. Quote, we've always admired Mr. Sapkowski's works. A great inspiration for the team here at CD Projekt Red, says Adam Sinitsky, president and joint CEO of CD Projekt. I believe today marks a new stage in our continued relationship. The agreement satisfies and fully clarifies the needs and expectations of both parties, past and present, and sets out a framework for future cooperation between the two sides. The agreement grants CD Projekt new rights as well as confirms the company's title to the Witcher intellectual property in video games, graphic novels, board games, and merchandise. Now you might say, okay, that's all well and good. I don't get the news here, right? Mm-hmm. What's going on? Well, if we want to look back to February 4th, 2019, a young pup named Imran Khan at Game Informer filed this story, talking about the fact that everything was breaking down over there, but was kind of getting fixed. Last year, Sapkowski was pretty upset about the Witcher video games. As the writer of the Witcher books, Sapkowski ended up signing away a lot of his rights to CD Projekt Red for a flat fee after turning down a profit percentage deal, assuming the games wouldn't actually make a profit. Several Witcher games and millions of dollars later, Sapkowski regrets the decision and made that clear when he demanded $16.1 million in royalties, which CD Projekt Red rejected. Now, CD Projekt Red is changing their mind and offering him compensation. According to Polish news outlet Pulis Business, CD Projekt Red has agreed to pay out some of the money the author in recognition for his role in creating the Witcher series. The number, which was not disclosed, is quite a bit less than $16 million he demanded earlier, but CD Projekt Red argues it is quite a bit more than they are obligated to give. In a statement given by the developer, they explain that they are mainly trying to maintain good relations with the author through the payment. Both parties have agreed to the settlement and have, according to their lawyers, resolved the situation amicably. Mm-hmm. So, Fran, what's your read on this?
I mean, I can't say I've been following this story all year.
You've been on top of this news hat, sitting there going, can't wait to see what this is.
But, I mean, you tell me if I'm reading it right, which is like he kind of walked away, Andre or whatever Sapkowski's name is.
Yeah. Oh, that was good pronunciation.
I tried. Right W's or V's sometimes, I think, over there. But anyway, walked away from some money, but then it was kind of realized that was not a great deal. And then maybe
it sounds like that's one of those things you kick yourself in the ass about forever of like, oh man, I'll never make money. Sure, I'll just take the money right now.
But he signed for that. But my guess is there was a little bit of like, sort of, why'd you let me sign for that? Now that it's selling so well, don't you think you owe me more, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it turned into that, and I mean, it seems like they did good on that and said you're right, like.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Is
you wrote this stuff.
I don't know how. I'm not sure if he came out of the blue with a lawsuit for $16 million, or if it was, hey, give me money. They said no, and it escalated. But in the end, it's good on CD Projekt Red for looking at him going, you know what? No, you do deserve more money. We'll give you some more money. I think what's interesting about the Imran Khan Game Informer article from February, never heard of him, from February, is the fact that it seems like that put a pin in that, and I wonder what that did for future stuff. Because the fact they're making this announcement now makes it seem like this takes care of all the business up until now, and that's all the business you get from me right now.
Right.
I wonder if it was that whatever their settlement was like, cool, that's going to be the end. You have to work on the projects you already have, versus now this new statement being like, hey, we've made an agreement going forward. We're actually going to have the chance to make more Witcher stuff and not piss you off.
Right, exactly. Well, who knows? To some point, it seems like they settled a little bit in the background.
Yeah, of course.
Even though it was doing good on their part to make sure that he was paid, but it was probably just to make sure this didn't get even uglier, I guess,
of course.
In the end. But
corrections already. Nanobiologist says Hugh Downs is still alive. He's 98. Great. And I guess Nano continues. Fran asked if Barbara Walters is still alive.
She is.
She is, and she's 90. We knew that.
I knew she was alive. But
and then Borzen, 00, corrects me, which I'm very appreciative of. He says CD Projekt Red is the development team of the overall company, CD Projekt. Hence why I was like, why do they call themselves CD Projekt now? It's the overall company versus just the developer.
Oh, wait, which one's the overall? CD
Projekt is overall. CD Projekt Red is the developer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so they've incorporated at the top or whatever as CD Projekt, which they're the ones.
Don't even worry about it. You explained it fine. There's no sense trying to read. Don't even bother wading more into it, Frank.
On the hook is what I was going to say. Exactly. Like, the devs are less involved. Right.
Speaking of being a big name and on the hook, number 2 on the rope.
Great segue.
Thank you. The new Telltale is building a non-crunch work environment. This is Matt Kim at IGN. When LCG Entertainment announced it would be reviving Telltale Games as a new company, there was some confusion. After all, the old Telltale had such a high-profile closure that news of its revival created whiplash among the community and even former employees. The new version of the company understands there might still be frustration over the revival, but says all it can do is build a crunch-free environment and create Telltale-quality content. Quote, these are always hard questions to answer, said Jamie Otley, CEO of LCG Entertainment/Telltale when IGN asked how the studio intended to handle a relaunch of a studio that closed when scrutiny of labor practices in the video game industry was at an all-time high, especially since the last Telltale... There's a word missing because of my bad printout. The last Telltale was itself partly brought down by a hostile work environment. Quote, all we can do is be forthcoming. We can't control whether critics hear or believe us. The truth is, we are a new company with different ownership and management and a different approach as to how we structure a studio in today's market. However, with the old Telltale name and working on already announced sequel developed by former developers on a new engine that's that's being worked on by the former head of the old engine, new Telltale will likely continue to face some confusion over how exactly it will be different from old Telltale. Quote, of course, we're frustrated by people who have suggested this is opportunistic or simply a money grab for the catalog of games without even giving us a chance, Otley says. We have all jumped into this with the intention of standing the company back up and continuing the legacy of telling stories that people want to play. However, most of this was expected, and really all we can do is put our heads down and focus on making great content worthy of the Telltale name.
So as I, was reading through this, I'm like, what is the confusion here, though? There seems to be tons of doubt and mistrust,
right?
Which I understand. But was there? Do you remember if there was like a larger background for like when I read this, it sort of feels like, hey, how dare you, restart this studio and give these people jobs again that want to work on
some of them.
Yeah, presumably.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
That's the biggest
why
problem.
isn't? So is that where this comes from? Why isn't it holistically the exact same company? Is that the problem?
It's
I
not
don't know
a problem so much. I think it's more the confusion of it, that Telltale went away, and in this very specific lens, right, of the crunch stuff that Matt's writing about here, it went away in the midst of...
and financial troubles.
Sure.
It wasn't just the crunch problem.
But it was a big
financial
thing that
troubles.
it wasn't, it was financial. It was the fact that it wasn't run well. It was the fact that, there was a crunch culture there. Mm-hmm. And now it is this idea of... They're right now just behind the eight ball. There's no way for the new Telltale right now to win people over with a blanket statement or blanket anything. They need to get out there and prove it, which is one of those things of not knowing Jamie Otley at all, not having talked to anybody. I know the people from Ad Hoc that are working on Wolf Among Us 2, and I know them from
you've met a lot of
Telltale,
these
right?
folks. Mm-hmm.
Like, I am way more optimistic seeing how they've handled the pressure, the interviews, the statements, and the game announcements since the revival of Telltale, in quotes. But the problem is that, and I guess not the problem, but one of the reasons I think there's so many weird echoes and pangs here is the fact that every time this stuff happens, you see the former Telltale developers who aren't working at Ad Hoc or aren't involved at all or have moved on to different things or have their freelance stuff ending, talking about, for them, how much salt in the wound it is to see this. For them, how they were blindsided at Game Awards. I want to make sure. I want to talk about one person in particular, but I want to make sure I have the information right before I did.
Yeah, and I think that you're hitting on a few of the details that I didn't realize actually was that there's some people that are not part of this and actually 100%. Apparently still don't have consistent work coming maybe.
They're still freelancing or whatever.
So
right?
they're not getting a deal out of this, although some of what they worked on now is part of what the company bought, and I guess I see more of that.
So that's the thing, right? Like, I'm looking at Jess Krause's Twitter. Jess Krause, a former Telltale employee, she was working on Wolf Among Us 2 when it was at the original Telltale, was part of, obviously, the studio closing, lost that job of, I'm working on this project I really, really care about, right? And for me, she's been... For me personally, the thread I followed through to see why this is, right? So imagine you're in her shoes, right? That you worked on Wolf Among Us 2. You were super excited to make Wolf Among Us 2. And then the rug's pulled out. Your company's gone. Your job's gone. What the fuck? You're in free fall. You put your life together. She's been doing freelance stuff that I think she talks about in the thread I'm about to read. But everything's fine. And she's live tweeting the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Just having a great time tweeting the game, right? And she goes,
Didn't know about this.
Yeah, right. On December 12th, whatever the time, or 8:15. Okay. Well, guess I need to play Disco Elysium now. I've been holding off for a while, but now I've got no excuse. Hashtag the Game Awards, right? And then December 12th, 8:22. Fuck. Right? Yeah. December 12th, 8:23. I'm going to fucking cry. And then it was like December 12th, 9:30. Like, this is all happening in real time for her, right? The re-reveal of her game, which isn't her game, but is her game, right? Yeah. And not knowing if it is your game. Okay, I've cried on the phone with friends and have had some hot chocolate deep breaths. I'm really happy for the guys at Ad Hoc. I know they'll make something amazing since they've all worked on the first season back in the day. They have nothing but my love and well wishes. I'm also very sad for our team, who worked so hard to get our project off the ground after we all lost our jobs. You guys don't even know how hard they worked for it, because we all believed in our little game. I need to take some time off from social media as a whole for now. I was planning on starting a YouTube archive project for Telltale Games in the new year, but I think I need a little more time. I'm heartbroken for us. I'm happy for the new team. It's complicated. Sending love to all heart. Then her final thing. One more thing before I log off for like 2 weeks. My current contract is up on January 24th. I'm estimating that because of this scope I'm estimating that because of scope and budget reasons, it will most likely not be extended. If anyone has leads on game writing gigs, feel free to DM me. Bye. Right.
And that was her position on Wolf Among Us.
I'm not familiar enough with Jess' current
But she was on the project, intimately involved.
She was I think she was one of the people on Wolf Among Us 2 at old Telltale.
Right.
And so when she says that her project contract thing is up, I don't think she's talking about ad hoc. I don't think she's
I assume something else.
I think she's talking about a different game, a different whatever, a different thing she's writing on. But my thing is, imagine being in that place where you were the shepherd of it. You were the face of it. You're getting to make this game you really, really wanted. It's all discovered. Okay, well, it's time for me to move on with the healing process. And I guess it's like all of a sudden seeing your ex pop up.
Yeah, for sure.
And you thought your ex was dead, I guess.
Right.
It's not the greatest example.
No, I know exactly what you mean, though. Like, totally didn't think this was going to be coming back. And this was like your baby. And you just never thought it was coming back, but then all of a sudden out of nowhere, and then now you're not included at all.
Yeah, exactly.
But
that's
then
the other thing.
The real issue perhaps being, now I more fully understand it as someone who was very important to the project, is not part of it. That ultimately is why, I guess now I can see through that lens, is why it is confusing. It's like, wait, if you wanted to do that, why didn't you just hire?
And you see it getting tossed out, right? Of like some
might
people.
Be more to it.
And I can only imagine what it would be like if, Kind of Funny closed or whatever, and this is a bad example as I'm like a founder or whatever, but Kind of Funny closed, and then all of a sudden it was back, and people on Twitter were celebrating Kind of Funny's back.
Right.
And it's like, well, no, I'm not there. It's not the same people.
Exactly.
And again, to what she's saying, I think her talking about how complicated it is nails it. It's not talking shit about ad hoc. It's not talking shit about the voice actors who are back. It's just like, you have to understand that like they were ready to put their vision out in the world, and that vision is no longer the vision of this project. So when people are when the Wolf Among Us crowd is so happy that it's back, it's awesome, but it's still painful for a lot of people.
Exactly, and that's exactly it. And I didn't realize it even per the announcement. I mean, not that you really would, but like it's not exactly the same team that it was. Yeah. I thought it was pound for pound.
No.
That's why I was a little like, this really helped. I'm like, oh, now I see the confusion. It really isn't the original team. It is people who've worked on it, and some of those people.
That's what gets complicated, because it's people from the original Wolf Among Us team, but not the original Wolf Among Us 2 team.
Well, right, exactly.
And maybe some of them are, but you know what I mean? I'm talking about
I'm sure it's mixed, but I guess that is the point. It's not pound for pound. I now realize that and can see why both. It's emotional if you just weren't in the know and included, but also if these people are looking for work, it is a darn shame that it's like, well, you're making their game that they were. Yeah. Is there a way to figure that out still? But these things are complicated.
And that is what I think, piggybacking off of Matt's story here, where you're talking about like the entire thing is complicated. Where again, I think even, all right, cool, they bought the Telltale name, and I remember their original interviews, and you're like, all right, you guys just seem like suits. I don't know what you are. And again, I don't know them from Adam. Maybe they are still suits. Maybe they don't know what they're doing. But the fact that it is. When you think of a Telltale game, you think of it, but I also think of jank, right? I when I think of a Telltale game, I think of so many different things in my head of like story-based, great narratives, really janky, bad release schedules, blah blah blah. Episode, is that what they're going to be? They're damned if they do, damned if they don't. Well, not jank, but in everything else of like, is it going to be a Telltale game the way we expected, or is it going to be a Telltale game in a different way? And how does that balance out? And how does that net out? And like until they put out their own game, they have to deal with these questions over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole different discussion, I think, but it's funny. I've played, Walking Dead somewhat back in the days. I never actually played A Wolf Among Us, but I'm very.
You should play Batman, because Batman's out right now. They just republished it with a black and white mode.
Oh, nice. But it's very much about the story. Actually, from what I've understood, is that by and large is the thing that fans like the most is the writing, and like it's not. I'm not saying it's not a gameplay game. I mean, that's where I'm going with this. But it's like, the engines are a little janky, and it's an adventure game, by the way. You point and click, and it more is about the writing. And so to me, like, hopefully, it shouldn't be that hard to figure out an engine, that can support the vision, but it is going to come down to that special magic of like how the gameplay choices, the narrative choices, I say, were made. So knowing maybe some of the writers aren't there, we'll see. But
my thing is the fact that they're working with ad hoc, which is comprised of the best of the best. And I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. Let me dial that back. Some of the best people Telltale ever had. I don't know everybody at Telltale.
Let me ask you this, actually, though: do you think this was already written and mostly penned? The dialogue trees and all before this all closed out?
From what I understand, I mean, it was far along. I don't know. I don't think all the episodes are written out. No.
Not all the episodes, right?
Yeah, but I think Jess and I think that her team had definitely an arc and knew where they were going with it.
And so maybe that work is already, in their hands, right? And
that's what I think is not happening. That is not happening.
Oh, it's not those. They didn't get those assets.
Their own thing now.
So the story
I think you could have, but that I think
would be a different purchase.
Grave robbing in a lot of ways, right? Like I don't. And that's
why I ask.
And that's where it gets complicated. I don't think. Actually, kindoffunny.com/you're wrong.
Yeah, maybe the details have been published.
If there's been a thing of we're starting completely from scratch, I thought there was.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there was.
And this is where these types of things are complicated. When you are another company, and I brought up this on Other Gamescast or Other Games Daily, it's like when you buy assets of a company, you'd be surprised, right, that the list of assets are very specific.
Okay, yes, I'm right. Telltale is starting from scratch with The Wolf Among Us 2.
So they didn't buy the game code, and it sounds like
they did. But I think what I'm saying for this episode is that they're like, we're not going to use any of the writing from the other things.
They want to do this, maybe. Okay.
Yeah. What do you mean want to do it? Maybe?
Well, it might be a moot point, but in other words, if they could have just bought all the writing and owned those assets, like sometimes it's more of a fee.
They did. They bought all the IP and all the stuff, but I just think like that is fucked up, right? To bring in like this half-done game, half-done.
Not if some of those people are working on it, but that is where it gets pretty dicey for sure.
Have everybody. Not to mention that I think why would you? And this is. I'm playing fast and loose here, but not to mention how insulting it would be that you can't get everybody. So you bring in a different director and you hand them a half-done first script, and they're like, I don't. I'm not a short order cook. I want to create. I want to learn these things. I want to do this.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I know that the first one was fairly beloved. So I just hope it holds true to that, though. And without knowing all the details, I think that's where I'm struggling a bit. It's hard to say. Are they going to be able to retain the vision, or did they just buy a label? And even if, Ad Hoc has worked on it before, again, like the writing especially is super important. So how is that going to be represented, if anything? That's the question I would like to see answered. Maybe it's already out there, but who's writing this, and how do they...
Ad Hoc, right? So it's Pierre who wrote all the Walking Dead stuff and did work on season 1.
Oh, so...
I think they're in a great spot. What I was driving at before is I think, again, from the announcement, Telltale's back, and it was like you read, you're like...
Not
this
quite
seems
back.
like you just is this like a THQ Nordic thing? Well, I'm not insulting THQ Nordic, but just like you're taking this name and what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
Whereas they seem to be making the right choices, and they are working with the people who made Telltale super special. I mean, one of the few things of they'd have to get like Harrison Pink, and they'd have to go get Sean Vanneman, which you're never going to get back. He's way too happy, I'm sure. But like to go get these people, like you're bringing in the people who did make it special, and hopefully taking off that top layer that seemed to be the restrictor on him. So, it was top-down Telltale that made life miserable, that drove away the talent. So if you're bringing in people and you're letting them create the visions they want to create, all right, cool, go for it.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense to me, and it is as simple now, I see, as the way the thing was announced. Maybe a little misleading. Telltale isn't quite back.
Yeah.
It's a new Telltale is back, and that message
until
got
they start
confused.
putting out their own products, their new games, nobody knows what that means.
Yeah,
that's fair. It's interesting to see them. I think handle it well, but they're gonna have to keep taking lumps, I'm sure, for quite some time.
Well, that brought me up to speed. Thank you.
That's what here. Games
I
Daily,
did not know as much about that, obviously. So.
Well, no, you only know about if it's running at 60 frames per second. How many
That's
flops
exactly
it's got
it, baby.
Speaking of PC gaming, number 3, Stadia is getting achievements, right? I got a PC.
We'll go with that.
I got a PC in the cloud.
All right.
Stadia tweeted out today, our achievement system is here, and you will now receive notifications when playing on desktop, laptop, and TV. You can view your full achievement list on the web, including all the ones you've earned since you began playing Stadia, which is great news. So why wouldn't Daniel Bloodworth from Easy Allies tweet out this? So, Stadia achievements come with some weird caveats. Can't be viewed on mobile browsers or the app. Can't turn notifications off. No overall achievement score that they count towards. I swear, sometimes it feels like Stadia is being made by some weird alien civilization that's trying to reverse engineer modern gaming from scraps in magazine articles.
Yeah.
It's good news that Stadia is adding more functions. We've talked about this all long, you know what I mean? All week long, I should say. I left out a word there. It seems like we've had Stadia in these Kind of Funny Games daily, and it is interesting to see them getting up to speed and getting things people want in there.
Yeah. You didn't include what you just read in the...
No, that came in late.
Sorry, could you read the word? So
sure.
Let me... Yeah, you go ahead and read it.
This is Daniel Bloodworth, of course, Easy Allies, friend of the show. We love them very much. So great. Stadia achievements come with some weird caveats. Can't be viewed on mobile browsers or the app. Cannot be viewed. Because even Stadia says in their
Stadia's
tweet is notifications when playing on desktop, laptop, and TV.
Only
desktop,
on those.
laptop,
Exactly.
and TV. So Daniel's right here. It can't be viewed on mobile browsers or the app.
But it can't even be viewed on a mobile browser, which I've tried that before. If you go to stadia.google on your phone, it's like it won't work.
Can't turn notifications off. No overall achievement score that they count towards. I swear sometimes it feels like Stadia's being made by some weird alien civilization. And then he does this one.
Yeah.
Popped in to take a look at the achievements, and hey, Metro passed the mom's Wi-Fi test. Seems to be playing as well here as it does at home. Just 5 minutes after, of course.
Gotcha.
Just after 5 minutes, of course. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, it feels like we said we were going to do this, so we've added something in.
Yeah.
But it's not feature complete still.
But
it's better than nothing. So, which, on that latter point, I do think it is a good thing. And Stadia's going to go through this. It's going to continue to go through it.
Yeah.
We said we were going to do this. We did it. I know it's not quite your expectation. We're getting there. We're still building towards years from now, frankly, of, I think, assuming it continues to exist.
Yeah.
But it will. They have a years-long plan, and we're just getting started. I mean,
Sure.
the console race or the next gen race hasn't even started. So, meaning I feel like get ready for it. You're going to get more stuff, and you're like, that doesn't quite work how I thought it was
Here's what
going
I'd
to.
like to bring into the table, because eventually we're going to get to this question from Frank Furter that involves Epic Game Store.
Yeah.
When we talked earlier this week, this is the third show in a row now where there's been a healthy Stadia chunk where we've talked about it, right? And I would say most have been negative or on the downside. One of the things I saw in response to the Gary, Kevin conversation from Wednesday was the idea that we were being too hard on this at where it's at now when we give so much leeway to the Epic Game Store for not being feature complete at launch. And I wondered what your take on that was. Because my take on it was that it's a different beast because Epic Game Store, for all intents and purposes, is free. It's a launcher you download, and it gets you to your game. Whereas with Stadia, it is the idea that right now you are paying $135, right, to get in and get your controller and get your access and get going. One day, it will kind of be a launcher as well, where you're just getting into. So it'd be a different ball of wax, but right now it's not.
Yeah, I see why it gets hazy, but that's my first reaction in that, Epic Games Store is a store. Yeah. And so the first thing you're going to do is compare it to Steam. But then, you do get into, it is your launcher, and in a way, Steam is a platform, right? And so I can see why people are comparing it to Stadia in that sense. But yeah, my thing is and we'll get to the question still, but they're not the same. Stadia is a whole 360, experience of it has to not only sell the games on a storefront, it has to be a platform that works on multiple devices. And so you got to have your friends list and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, I feel like the expectation is much higher there versus, I don't know. I guess it's weird because of PC gaming is maybe what I'm getting at is you can buy a game on, Green Man Gaming or GOG. Yeah. And you just get that. It's funny. I haven't actually done that, but they're just they don't have, the full interface. Or you can buy, a game on a Ubisoft launcher versus another thing. You can buy Ubisoft games, I think, on EA's Origin service, right? And so you only get certain features of what those launchers are. So meaning it's kind of messy on PC, where when I think of a console, and that's where I'm trying to go with it. I think of PlayStation and I think of Xbox, and they have a very specific set of features competing with each other, and that's what I expect of Stadia. Yeah. Because that is what it's competing with. So
you think it is a platform?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I agree with you, and that's why the conversation was.
And I think part of it too is because there is the vision of plugging in the puck into your TV, and that is as close to it's a bit of a console experience in that sense, and you're using a controller and. So I know it might sound like a cop-out. I think all of these services need to compete with each other, to be fair. But I do think Stadia's held to, frankly, the much higher bar. If it doesn't match PlayStation and Xbox right now, that's your problem, and that's why people are upset.
All right, let's get Frankfurter in here, who wrote into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, just like you can, to get the content ad-free and ask questions and be part of the show and squad up. It's a great time. You get to watch Gamescast, have some fun.
Participate.
Frankfurter says, good morning, Greg and Fran. Good Stadia news. They now have achievements on their platform, although they are not pretty, in which you need to open another tab to view them, but it's still something. On the one hand, the Epic Games Store still seems to be lacking in this department and still hasn't done a lot of quality of life updates, such as simply having a shopping cart. Do you think that Epic is now going to be in a rush to get these features that almost all, if not all, other platforms already have?
Yeah. And my quick answer was no, because it's not the same platform, and like Epic is worried about Steam, and they're worried about developers selling their games on that platform. That's not to say that they don't care about this stuff.
But and that was the thing is yesterday we had an Epic Game Store in the Roper Report, right? Because they did add some stuff in there. They did start knocking it off. And if this would just scroll, I can read it to you.
Yeah. It's funny.
They launched coupons for the first time. They redid the library grid and they polished it. They storefront optimized. Then development in progress is the critic reviews and the wish list stuff.
Yeah.
The thing I have here is comparing these, and granted, Epic Game Store, even though while new as well, has been around longer than Stadia, so it's not apples to apples in that one. But what I appreciate so much about Epic Game Store, and again, as I've pointed out every time we talk about it, I am an outsider. I just read, I see what I read, and I'm not using it often, is the fact that they have that Trello where they're talking about what is coming, what they're working on, how they're going. Stadia continues to be, granted, a month in, continues to struggle with communication. Whether it's what we talked about yesterday with the community subreddit thread that got out of control because they popped in and said nothing to report, and the community's like, here's everything you should have said. Yeah. Or if it is the fact that out of the blue today, achievements dropped. Out of the blue, the other week, or last week, right, or earlier this week, Borderlands 3 dropped. It's crazy that they're not signposting this stuff more and saying where they are with the iOS app is this far out, or and even roughly. I mean, the 30,
we don't
60,
know.
90-day plan. That the fact that you don't have that, you have no clarity, makes it seem like they don't know what they're doing, and makes it seem like this stuff is just going live out of the blue. On the fly.
Dude, we're driving in a blizzard with Stadia. That is you're like, I don't know where we're going. Like roughly, it's this way, but I have no idea how long we have to go. And I agree with that.
And that's trouble, right?
It is. But to me, again, actually, I'll just say, to me, very matter of factly, Epic and Tim Sweeney could not care any less about who cares if Stadia adds achievements, because you can't buy a PC game on Stadia. No. That's why it doesn't matter to them. There's no competition with that. It is a platform. So, and that's, I think that boils it down for me better is it's PlayStation and Xbox that have to potentially worry right now. That could change in the future, but Epic isn't a cloud streaming platform. Epic sells PC games. To be feature complete, of course, across all the stuff, I do think is important, and people look at each other. But there's just no direct thing there. So what I'm saying, I wouldn't expect achievements any sooner on the Epic Game Store because of this. But I would hope that that just Epic is caring about those features enough to get them in this pipeline. You mentioned the Trello, and I'm not sure if they're in there and when they might be coming. So we could look, but. What I was going to mention, too, is all the features you named, Greg, are so, store-driven. So unfortunately, I think that's where we see their focus is, right? It's adding search, and the library grid looks better, and so on. It's been less focused on being, that platform and the launcher. But
now, you worked at IGN after I was fired.
Yeah. After you were fired, right?
Can I search Trello? Because there's a lot of stuff going on in Trello here.
It's
because up next they got a storefront discover, storefront browse, storefront curated collections, trending.
You found it.
Reviews,
Wait, are you searching Trello?
Yeah, I put Epic Games Trello and it pops in.
Oh yeah, you found it.
Yeah. And so
it's funny. You can search, but only if you're logged in. So maybe we can't as
So then, what I'm saying,
you wanted to find if
you were asking about where achievements. Oh, they're there. The achievements are on future development.
Just future.
Yeah.
So there's no date on it.
Okay, hold on. Epic Bits moved this card from long term, about 6 months, to future development.
Okay. Well, we should put the
So I think that's beyond 6 months, is what that means. If you moved it from long term to future development, then it's got to be a way.
So we're seeing, but that's one of the features that we don't know about. As good as this Trello is in terms of understanding, maybe a little by far compared to Stadia,
you understand what's going on, right?
By far, it looks like it's really happening. Where Stadia is, I think, still very confusing. But we can put the kindoffunny.com/you're wrong if you figure out more about this. We'd love to know. Yeah. I'd like achievements on Epic Game Store, I guess. I mean, I was trying to think of what else there was really to say on that. But I know you love, trophies, achievements and trophies, and I actually don't care about them as much.
I honestly feel like I think Greg Miller, and the people who are listening to this right now and actually really, really care about it are such a small portion of gamers. We're such a small percentile that I just don't think. Yeah, but that's why Epic isn't rushing for it, because it's
exactly. But that's not that it isn't a very needed feature, because you guys are so engaged and you're literally playing games you would never touch otherwise, and it's really awesome that people do that. And I know people love the features on Steam, and I don't mean to discount that, but I was just giving you the personal DNA where I'm like, I'm not missing them. I just want the store or not the store, but just as a launcher and supporting all the controllers and so on, friends list being better and whatnot. That's where I want to see it improve.
Okay. Number 4 on the Roper Report. Let's talk about creative freedom and Microsoft. This is Jordan Ramey.
Yeah, probably.
At GameSpot. Compulsion Games isn't worried about losing creative freedom under Microsoft's banner as part of Xbox Game Studios. The development team behind We Happy Few actually asserts that the Microsoft acquisition has afforded them the chance to more easily focus on the studio's future. Quote, that's actually removed a lot of the focus from finding where we're going to find the next paycheck to actually concentrating on what it is that we need to do to make great games, says the founder and creative director, Guillermo Provost. Said in The Cost of Joy, a documentary recounting the history of Compulsion Games. Quote, I can be more forward-looking to what we actually need in order to actually succeed. And there's a huge difference from having a big backer like Microsoft that's allowing us our creative space and our creative freedom from being an independent developer that's starving all the time and looking for money. Build the team not just for the next game, but for the next series of games. Trying to maintain creativity inside an organization like Microsoft is not as hard as people think, producer Sam Abbott said. It's really just about having a leadership group inside Microsoft that understands the value of creativity and creative games. Community developer Nelia Hajaz added, quote, we have been told to keep making really weird, just different things. So, on the creative standpoint, it's just been all positive, end quote.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I don't question this for a second, actually, because I feel like, especially with where Microsoft's at, they've been acquiring studios and they're just in that spot. They need to obviously have a plan, but I think they want to buy very talented people and let them dream.
Yeah.
And I think also if you look at like Obsidian recently, like seeing their announcement of Grounded, like a very unexpected, like, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids looking thing. And I was like,
Fortnite thing,
I was like, where did this come from? And maybe the IP was already in development, but the point is, when I look at it, I'm not sure I think of Xbox Series X, and you look at the stuff they showed Forza and FIFA and Halo, and it's this very edgy look, but then you have like Grounded, and like I think they realize like, these are very talented people, and so I don't question it for a second.
No, totally, and I think again, it's one of those, obviously the proof in the pudding when these games start coming out, but for what Phil and his team over there have been doing, as much as I believe in what they've been doing, this is what you want to hear. Especially coming off the back of the PlayStation 4 life cycle, where PlayStation has succeeded by letting their first-party studios make games that maybe aren't weird to this extent, because obviously I think they're making more bigger AAA stuff than what Compulsion probably has the capability at the moment to do. But like, for Sucker Punch not to be forced to make another Infamous. All right, cool. You want to make this weird ninja game?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Like, it's going to, maybe samurai. Maybe this weird samurai game. Yeah.
Yeah. And you see the same thing, I think, with like Days Gone in that too, right? Where it's like, wow.
We already got a zombie game, but sure, go ahead and make another
Sure,
zombie
we'll
game,
take another one, and it's been really great to see people be able to do that. I mean, you still have to get stuff approved. And
sure, of course.
That's not going to
But if your team believes in it, you believe in it, right?
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear. You want to see that stuff because that'll be what sets them apart, is that they have unique experiences on it.
Yep. Yeah, it seems like they're very open to all this stuff, so can't wait to see what the team does.
And then finally on the Road Report, number 5, Redbox is done renting games, but you can buy them right now for dirt cheap from them. This is Janae Sitzes over at GameSpot. Game rentals have been dying for a while now, but some services like Redbox have let you hold on to a game for a few days, then give it back for a free. I think she means a fee, though. Not anymore, however. The company announced earlier this month it has stopped offering game rentals at its many kiosks nationwide. It'll still offer movie rentals, however. In fact, it looks like Redbox is trying to get rid of all of its games, and you might be able to gain from their loss. In a recent tweet, Redbox customer service explained the decision to stop renting games was made after evaluating changes in the industry, which led it to shift its full focus to physical movies, which is the bulk of its business anyway. Redbox is clearing out its stock of games with a massive game sale with some of the best prices available online, including Marvel's Spider-Man for $10, Death Stranding for just $25, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare for $30. Most of the prices aren't immediately visible, as you'll need to enter your zip code to see if there's stock near you. That's great.
It is, yeah.
First off, I can't believe Redbox is still around. I haven't, my grocery store doesn't have it, so I haven't seen it in years. But hey, cool that it's still there, and awesome now you can go over there and get a whole bunch of cool games.
Yeah, I guess so. It's funny. I was like, yeah, it's cool. They're not doing this anymore, actually. I don't know. I come from, and I think you do too, like we rented games, so many as kids, and it was so, I think, important to where we are even today. But I always game rentals create an issue, especially in resale of developers getting the value on the games. Like we've even seen those issues more along in the past of when digital sales weren't around as much. But like a game could have been played a lot, but they wouldn't have been able to track it and so on. So I don't know. I generally. We need better solutions for this, but I guess I'm happy that just go buy the games and I don't know. It's a tall order though. These games are expensive in the first place, so I don't know. How do you feel about rental games? Period.
I think rental games are, as we talk about brick and mortar falling away, even the rental problem. I remember when we were at IGN. I remember the PS3. That was an ongoing, or PS3 generation, I should say, when we were there. 2007, 2008, an ongoing discussion about how dangerous that was and how it was eating into sales and how it was affecting it, and how borrowing games and game trading and how you could game trade with PSN, blah, blah. I feel like all of that has netted itself out to where it really isn't a problem anymore. It was back then, but even we talk about how we were growing up. I remember going to Blockbuster all the time to rent stuff. It was the idea that maybe they had 3 copies of the game, the hottest game.
Yeah.
So is it really eating into it that much? I think as we've seen, as you expected too.
That's fair.
Removing the barriers to entry, whether it be getting into the car to go to a Blockbuster or go to a GameStop, even in the increase in digital sales that have gone gangbusters and exploded. It's there because it's so easy. So it is that easy for someone to jump on there and do it. Let alone the fact that Fortnite's the biggest game going and it's free, right? I think you talk about kids getting into games. Kids are doing more and more and playing more games. They're playing fewer games, but playing games for longer amounts of time. Yeah. Where it is that you go into Fortnite and you start chipping away and spending money there on microtransactions, right? Or you're still playing Minecraft, a decade later.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. There's way more competition in the free games market.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of settling out. But it's the same idea of having to go to the theater to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Technically, we could all just watch that in our home. There's nothing stopping Hollywood from doing that.
Do it, Hollywood.
Other than, I know, do it.
If they did that, I'd rent Cats tonight, sure.
Exactly.
But am I going to see Cats in a theater? Not a chance in hell.
I know. I need a full bottle of bourbon next to me, not just a cup or two. But yeah, meaning it is still the issue of, are you going to make enough money at full sale versus rental and so on. But anyway, the point is, these are really great deals. Just for science purposes, I decided to punch in our zip code around here. I was like, Death Stranding.
How we doing?
There's a lot of copies, actually. There's at least 5 or 6 that I see in my zip code. And one of them's Walgreens indoor.
For the record, this might be one of those very much Tim Gettys schemey things. Find out how much GameStop is buying Spider-Man back for. Then go buy all the. If it's cheaper, buy Spider-Man for $10.
Profit.
Go return it. You know what I mean? Roll in it.
Oh man, I like this.
That's how Tim used to do it.
He's a grifter. He's going to grift.
He's a big time grifter.
Right.
Joseph Maloney wrote in about this one, patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, and says, "Hey Greg, I need some help. My daughter is 5 and I'm trying to get her into gaming. She's played the Switch a few times and so far enjoyed it. I told her to make a list for Santa of the things she might want this year, like video games, hoping she might take the hint. When she gave me the letter, I was shocked to see her request to Santa. Dear Santa, if there's only one thing I want for Christmas, but that's so far away, if I wanted to know what came to the mom and grop shops, where would I go?"
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show host each and every weekday.
Yeah. Final out today of the year, everybody. The Lego Group takes players on an epic adventure in Lego Builder's Journey. Available now exclusively on Apple Arcade. Lego Builder's Journey is the debut title from Lightbrick, a new internal Lego game studio. I haven't looked at it, but it's free if you got Apple Arcades. Who cares?
It's free.
Cold Silence, Xbox One. Airy, Xbox One. 60 Parsecs, Switch. Farable, Switch. Dreamball, PS4. Soccer Pinball, PS4. The Inner Friend, PS4. Unit 4, PS4. Future Pool, PC. One-Eyed Lee and the Dinner Party on PC. I want to see a trailer.
Yep.
Oh, geez. Oh, no. My rabbits are gone, PC. Okay Boomer on PC. Nice turnaround on that title, everybody. The Sword, PC. Necro Wars, PC. Jedi Fallen Order gets a patch. What does it include, you might say? Well, let's read from the Reddit post. We've updated Cal so he is more responsive during combat. This change includes tweaks to stagger reactions, kicks, flybacks, staff parry, and sprint attacks. Fixed an issue that would cause ledge grabs and climbing to sometimes behave incorrectly, which is a huge problem. Thank you for that. Fixed an audio issue that would sometimes cause sound effects to play in an incorrect order. Multiple collision fixes. BD1 would sometimes not scan one of the villagers. They figured that out. Terrarium sometimes wasn't a very nurturing environment, preventing seeds from growing. It should now give your plants the love and care they deserve, encouraging them to grow. General stability improvements. Kevin, you got the trailer here. This is, of course, One-Eyed Lee and the Dinner Party on PC. Let's take a look.
This is the one you chose.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I want to see who One-Eyed Lee is, you know? Okay, I'm holding on. Here, it's very picturesque. Storybook. A potential cure to save a village from collapse may be deep underground. Deep down underground.
Save a village.
Baracus. He's reading. Lee with one eye. The hair's blocking the other eye. Do you think Lee has a second eye, or do you think it's just covered?
Wait, did Lee have a period in the name and Baracus didn't?
No, this just looks like Lee. Run. What's the gameplay here, One-Eyed Lee?
We're just watching illustrations
I'm
right
gonna
now
read
instead of what resides here.
Tis the season of...
It's the family of cultists.
Whoa.
They're all
right, turn it
skeleton
off.
people.
I'm already done. I don't care.
Yeah,
Tis the
some
season
story
of comfort, joy, and second chances. PlayStation's putting up the medieval short-lived demo once again. It has additional content this time. If you get the free download, you can claim Serdan's helmet as an item for your game, traverse the graveyard and Hilltop Mausoleum, and fight your way to the stained glass demon. Are you up for restoring some cheer to the kingdom this holiday? And then new dates for you. Bleeding Edge closed beta is going to be on February 14th. That's right, Valentine's Day. You can go to the Xbox Wire right now, get entered into that. And then Elon Musk tweeted, Tesla holiday software update has FSD sneak preview. Don't know what that means. Stardew Valley.
Faster than light, you can play it on your... No.
Lost backgammon and a few other things. Basically, I'm joking around that Tesla now has Stardew Valley in the car as well. So Joey and my wife Jen need to get a Tesla now, so they can keep playing there.
Greg, you know, you saw 60 parsecs was on that list?
Yeah.
You know what the symbol for parsecs is?
No.
PC, baby.
God.
You can't escape it.
I can't, apparently.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
I was trying to remember how much a parsec was. I definitely
That's
did
always
not
the
know.
thing from the Star Wars. Right?
Yeah, they were, but it's
wrong kind of
crazy
measurement.
unit
Everybody's
of
all cranky
measurement.
about it. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Believe it or not, I got some deals of the day for you. Twinfinite reports that a lot of the Final Fantasy mobile games are on sale, so if you're one of those folks, go out there. Then Twitch Prime dropped a whole bunch of loot.
Yeah,
if you didn't know, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, which of course gets you a whole bunch of free loot and a free 30-day subscription you have to give away. It does not auto-renew. You need to remember to give it to people like Fran, FM3_, or Kind of Funny Games. We'd appreciate it if you did it to either of us. Fran streams a lot. You stream a lot during the holiday?
Yeah, absolutely. No. Unless I decide to just up and go somewhere. It's always on my mind.
Sure.
But I'm planning on doing a lot of streaming. We got a lot of catching up to do before our Game of the Year discussion.
I know, a lot of stuff. I got to turn on Jen's PC. Oh, God, I got to go download stuff too.
But head to, I don't know if you said it, Twitch TV/Prime. As long as your accounts are linked, should be the easy place to find.
I would just say Google it, because if you just put in Twitch Prime, it'll take you there, and you can link it all together.
That works.
But yeah, Twitch Prime
Google.
loot. The loot net right now that is up, you can go get a new Apex Legends skin. Borderlands 3, you can jump in there, and you can get 3 golden keys and the Caster Blaster weapon trinket. I got it last night, a little purple TV. Grand Theft Auto Online has free access to Pixel Pete's arcade property for all your Diamond Casino heist needs. And they also get 10% off all in-game wide discounts and a 15% off in-game currency purchase. Red Dead Online also has some Twitch Prime loot. You can claim the Polished Copper Still upgrade for the Moonshine property in Red Dead Online to brew stronger batches of moonshine and improve your bar. You also get a collector's bag for free to begin your path as a collector. Prime members also get a 10% off all game-wide discounts and in-game currency purchase of gold.
Let's go.
And then available December 26th through the 31st, Prime members can claim 5 extra free games with Prime. Devolver Digital favorites Enter the Gungeon, Ape Out, Witch Eye, Heave Ho, and Gato Roboto. That's on top of this month's other free games with Prime. Hugh, Hover, Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter, Toe Jam and Earl Back in the Groove, and Ski Lifts Go Wrong for a total of 10 free games this month.
That's good stuff. Just getting Ape Out like for free alone is
I think, honestly, I forget about Twitch Prime
these are great, but
outside of the free subscription. The loot all the time.
Yeah.
Like yesterday when this broke about the Borderlands stuff, I was like, oh crap, did I miss it? It was like, oh, it's today. Like, oh, okay, cool.
If only there was a show we could have mentioned that on or something like that.
Well, no, it came afterwards. Oh, you mean the Borderlands show?
Yeah, I was joking. Whatever. Like, it's Twitch stuff,
Exactly.
Nobody cares about
Nobody
Twitch.
cares about
they
Twitch.
just stream there every night.
Dead. You know what I mean? Now it's time for reader mail. You can write into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames where you can get the show ad-free. And speaking of ads, Greg Way, this episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily is brought to you by Third Love. Third Love does bras differently. They believe that every woman deserves to feel comfortable and confident every day with the right kind of support. They help her do this. Their bras are designed to fit you, not the other way around. They're designed with measurements from millions of women's. Their bra styles are made to fit your life. They have over 80 bra sizes, but know that the most important one is yours. They make bras we believe in. Of course, Kinda Honeys are wearing their Third Love bras. Every bra is backed by the Perfect Fit Promise. 60 days to wash it, wear it, and if you don't love it, returns are free and easy. Plus, they donate your bra after they wash it to a woman in need. Every bra is made for your comfort with memory foam cups, no-slip straps, and smooth, scratch-free band with a printed label. And as I said, they donate all their stuff, so that's great. Everybody loves that. You should do it because the Fit Finder quiz is fun. You should do it because the returns are free and easy, and their fit stylists are always available to help via chat or email. Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone, so right now they are offering my listeners 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/games now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/games for 15% off today. Up next is Upstart. As most of us have found out the hard way, getting into debt is easy. Getting out is hard, especially if your credit score isn't great. Thankfully, now there's Upstart.com, the revolutionary lending platform that knows you're more than just your credit score and offers smarter interest rates to help pay off high-interest credit card debt. You know it, Kevin knows it, Fran knows it. When I moved here to San Francisco, I had to take out a loan. I got a bad interest rate because they took none of my personal information into effect. But Upstart goes beyond the traditional credit score when assessing your credit worthiness. They actually reward you based on your education and job history in the form of a smarter interest rate. Upstart believes you're more than just a credit score. They believe in you. They make it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate in just a few minutes. And the best part, once the loan is approved and accepted, most people get their funds the very next business day. Over 300,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards and meet their financial goals. Free yourself from the burden of high-interest credit card debt by consolidating everything into one monthly payment with Upstart. See why Upstart is ranked #1 in their category with over 300 businesses on Trustpilot. Hurry to upstart.com/kfgames to find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate takes only a few minutes, and it won't affect your credit. That's upstart.com/kfgames. And finally, it's Logitech. We're talking about the Pro X headset from Logitech G. I don't even need the ad because I use it. I talk about it all week, right? That it plugs into my controller on the PlayStation 4, so I sit there, I can play Borderlands. Fran doesn't talk to me, but if he did talk to me because he used it, I would be using that blue microphone with all the noise canceling stuff, and it'd be awesome. The stuff that Tim knows about. The headsets are great. Its surround sound is awesome. But as I've been talking about, I use it for games, but then I also plugged it into my computer. Yesterday, I did a VO audition for a video game. Came in here, plugged it right in, recorded it, sounded as good as our microphones, sent it off. That's the power of Logitech G, ladies and gentlemen. It's designed in collaboration with and for pro gamers for advanced comms and precision audio. Version 2.0 takes 7.1 channel surround sound further than ever with enhanced bass rendering, audio clarity, and proximity cues. Pro X joins a complete setup of Logitech G gear developed in close collaboration with top esports pros like Fran, with Logitech G's most advanced tech and focused design. Nothing gets in the way of winning. For a limited time, Logitech G is offering our listeners 10% off any of their project products at LogitechG.com. Use the code KFGames for 10% off today. That's 10% off all Logitech G products if you purchase from LogitechG.com with the code KFGames. First question, Fran.
Yep.
Comes from the one and only Stale Savior. She wrote in to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and said, so, with Nintendo sending out their own 2019 in review emails, what were you guys' most played games of 2019? Fire Emblem Three Houses dominated my playtime, but I haven't touched it since my second playthrough. Did you guys have games with more replay value, or did you spend tons of time enjoying the story of one game? Fran, Steve Saylor wants to know this question. Mm-hmm. They asked it to us. What is your pick? What when you got your Nintendo year in review? Of course, switch.nintendo.com/year-in-review. You can check your own. What was your most played game?
Destiny 2.
Wow, didn't realize that game. Didn't realize
Seeing how awake you were this morning.
Yeah, I'm on it.
It was Smash Brothers. And what I should say, right, is the joke partly being there is I just played so much Destiny, obviously, this year. Sure. Borderlands, Division 2, all these games that didn't come to Switch. I think it would have been much more interesting had a lot of that bit on Switch.
Yeah.
But because of that, it was by and far Smash Bros. Because it had just come out, you know, in December. I was still cooking on it in January.
Yeah, for me it was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I think I have like 65 plus or 70 plus, whatever. When you look at the inside of it, you know how it tells you on your profile.
Have you played that lately?
I turned it on the other day when I was writing my Giant Bomb thing. Spoilers is going to be in there, and I needed to see like, oh, what do they call this? And there's so much more content. I haven't dropped it, or I haven't played it since they put in the expansion with the Marvel Knight stuff, and I'm like, crap. And now X-Men are coming out in a couple weeks. It's like,
nice,
so much good stuff to play. That's one I didn't prep you for. I don't know. I want to take you that way. You know what I mean? So I'm
gonna I'll just do no comment if I don't like it. No comment.
Oh, wow. You don't even know the question. You're saying no comment. You know what I mean? Fine. I'm going to do it. Nanobiologist wrote in with a whole bunch of stuff and said, hey, Greg
it's Nano. Forget it.
We're almost done with 2020, so I have some quick questions to cap it all off. Number one, what was the game from the 2010s that you didn't expect you'd like, but also pushed you to get into a new game genre you didn't try before? When you think, I mean, biggest surprise, I think, honestly, is really what that comes down to.
So you want me to remember games from 2010?
That's well, from the last decade is what he's saying.
Oh,
he's saying from the last decade. It's one of these, everything's ending, it's 2020, yada, yada. Where would you put it? You know what I mean?
The 2010s, I thought it was strictly
not
2010. I was like, what is this question? That you didn't expect, but pushed you into a new genre that you didn't try before. I'm a simple man. I feel like I've been playing so many different types of games for a long time that I didn't really do that. But honestly, I will throw out. Actually, wait. Fortnite. It's in two ways. Fortnite for sure. And not because I don't like shooters and stuff, I clearly do, but like, I don't know, I normally in the past wouldn't have been into those types of games. People don't know this because all I talk about is Borderlands and Division and Destiny, and they think that's the type of gamer I am, but the reality is I'm a Breath of the Wild, I'm a God of War.
It used to be all Nintendo.
Yeah, and I like, I mean, exactly, any Nintendo game. I am a Fire Emblem guy and so on, so I love too many types of games now. So anyway, that stuck out to me, but not so shockingly, Destiny PvP, and I would point out that I've never just been exceptional at PvP. I got into stuff like Battlefield and not really ever Call of Duty. But anyway, when I picked up Destiny PvP, which was in 2014, and I got into it in 2015, and there was this mode called Trials of Osiris, I never thought that I would be like really get into PvP again, but that brought me back to it. So I don't know if those examples.
It's just it's such a decade, right? To talk about the games that have happened and what you did. Like my first reaction was my first reaction was Persona 4 Golden. But even that doesn't count because I guess I liked Persona 3 before then. But even then, I kind of can loop that in of like Persona 4 Golden. I guess no, Persona 3 would have been before then.
Yeah. And
that wouldn't have been. When did Persona 3 drop?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I'll let you Google that one.
Hold on. Persona.
I was looking through like all
because
the
I mean, you know, Jeff Haynes.
Decade.
I can see him handing me the copy. So like when
Yeah.
Oh no, way before then. So yeah, then I was gonna say Persona 4 got me. It was a JRPG I adored, but I loved Persona 3. So the answer, of course, is a very simple one, and you should have all seen it coming. DC Universe Online. An MMO. I had never played an MMO before.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
I had never done that before. I had never been part of a league for them, but a guild. I'd never had that kind of experience. I'd never raided. I'd never done any of that. And obviously 900 hours later, like it, definitely probably is the game that, defined the decade in terms of like the biggest change for me, especially not wanting to play multiplayer games the most. Like that is the gateway drug that gets me into being excited for the Division 2, Borderlands 3, all the different things we've done here and played.
Yep. Yeah, and it's funny that Destiny was that for me. I guess part of it is I've just played so many different types of games. Not that I do that regularly, but meaning I'm pretty open. Like even as an example, right? Like I really enjoyed Gone Home when it came out. It was great.
Yeah.
But I'm always into stuff like that. I just can't make the time for it.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like there's a category. There's probably a few, but there's not too many categories that I'm not open to, in other words,
Yeah,
So
I do know.
We've been doing this a long time,
We're old people. Yeah, when Vic was on here yesterday talking about 25 years, it's like, oh, Lord, we're old.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do his last one. What are you looking forward to the most from the next decade that you either hope is announced or has been announced?
Is this like a game franchise, I guess, is what we're doing with this?
You interpret it however you want.
In the next decade, what do I look forward to the most? Which clearly that's not announced.
Time capsule, yeah.
I mean, my easy answer is, it's in the near future-ish, but Metroid Prime 4.
Oh, wow, okay.
I'm just like, Super Metroid was one of the first games that really just, I was like, oh my gosh, and so certainly that one stands out. And then I think beyond that is seeing, I don't know what the game is, but seeing what Fortnite is doing with live events, and I keep bringing this up of, imagine that starts hitting, action adventure type games like Breath of the Wild. Imagine that suddenly, you find out there's a big event coming and the world's going to change, even though the next Breath of the Wild's not out. And it's like seeing that come to some big franchise, it really hasn't been done yet. Whatever that is, I'm super excited to see that.
In the immediacy, I think the answer for me is obviously next gen. I can't wait to see what PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Stadia and all in the xCloud. What does that look like? I'm fucking juiced to see what a year from now looks like and what games are out, what these systems look like, how is it netting out, who's on top, what's going on. To think about what in 2029, like when we look back, like it's impossible, but that's what I'm excited about. Like think about where we are right now. At the end of the PlayStation 4, Xbox One life cycle, where really, like, remember at the end of the PS3, 360, you're like, man, fucking consoles are dying. This isn't going to be a thing. Yada. Like, we were in such a different place then, let alone where we are now. Like, we wouldn't have, we saw, obviously, Twitch was happening and live streaming was happening. That's why they put it in the systems. But, like, at the start of the PS3, they weren't, right? Justin TV might have been going, but we weren't, like, the industry has changed so dramatically. The fact that we don't work at IGN, that we're here doing this thing and we're able to be supported, like, what does that look like? Is that still something that can happen in 2029?
Yeah, to your point, I think so much is tied to the technology. So, like, easy answer is what you said, the next gen or cloud gaming, which has been, sought after. It's the white whale for over a decade easily, if not more. And so we're within reach of it now. So to think about the next one, that's really the one. Even though right now our relation to cloud gaming is like, I don't know, but...
I do
7
know.
years from now,
be there.
By the way, when we all are on 5G and we get reception,
or the EMP's gone off and we're living under bridges.
But that is the dark alternate. If you just store games on your phone,
Either we're playing the games that beam to our eyeballs, or we're all fucking digging for worms.
Get that USB generator ready, or you're gonna be screwed, man.
Boris in 00 and Blackjack want to take us home with look back questions. Boris in, or not even questions, comments. Boris in 00 writes in and says, "Good morning, Greg and Fran. I just want to say what a year it has been for me personally, and KFGD has been with me every moment of the way. Without this show and what you guys do, I never would have gone from a background member to doing a lot of what I do now. Whether it be a PC dork with the TurboTax, Destiny 2, clan with other best friends with Frankfurter, or meeting up with the nanobiologist every time he is in town, or breaking out of my shell and seeing other best friends around the KC area, it would not have been possible without asking my first question. I want everyone to know watching this show, you could be me. The new me next year. Now, I'm not hanging up my cape or anything like that. All over the next week, decide for yourself to take that first step and have a 2020 like my 2019. I can't wait to see you all next year and maybe see some new faces and names as well. Borzen 00. Borzen, thank you so much for being a best friend this year. You've been fantastic at writing questions. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for reaching out to everybody. Of course, 2020 is the same exact thing we were just saying of like talking about where I can't wait to see where the generations are next year, the consoles are. I can't wait to see where we are.
Yeah.
If you haven't noticed, everything in Kind of Funny land changed. A month is 2, 3, 4 months. You know,
exactly.
Like everything changes in a heartbeat here.
Yeah.
Will Fran still be here? Who knows?
Who knows? As long as I don't get on Greg's bad side, I got to get on that PlayStation 4 and play some games with him.
Blackjack writes in to patreon.com/kindoffunny and says, "Hey, Greg and Fran, happy holidays. I wanted to write in to congratulate you, Greg, and all your other co-hosts on another amazing year of Kind of Funny Games Daily. I think sometimes when you do a daily show, you get so bogged down in the routine of it that you don't get a chance to look back and reflect. The show has grown tremendously this year. Each co-host brings a unique perspective and energy, especially Fran, lol, to their games coverage." You have a unique energy.
Yeah, I get it, okay?
All the guest hosts you've had blended into the show pretty seamlessly, which isn't easy with all the jingles and catchphrases. It's become a staple of my daily routine, and I can't wait to see what Kind of Funny Games 4.0 has in store for 2020. Love you all. P.S. Today is my birthday, and usually Kind of Funny live programming is done for the year. Instead, I get to celebrate the last day of the Kind of Funny year with all of you and the best friends. Blackjack.
Hey, happy birthday, Blackjack.
Happy birthday, Blackjack. And again, thank you for your support, too.
Yeah.
You've been incredible. Everybody's been incredible this year.
He's been producing shows all year, that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Love the support of that guy.
Thank you all for your support, whether it is going to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, whether it is downloading the show and listening to it on your tractor, whether it is not believing the sirens are on your end.
Yeah.
It means a lot to us.
Sometimes they are.
We love you very, very much. It's time to squad up. This is where one of you writes in to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Give me your name, username, platform of choice, and why you need help. I read here, the best friends come and find you, and everybody has fun together. Today, 9-Toe Bill, all one word, a 9 spelled out, needs help on Stadia. His Stadia name is 9-Toe Bill. Not really a squad up, but I got an extra buddy pass and wanted to share it with a best friend. I'm going to read it
goes.
here. First one gets it. 4E92ZH39A3RTWS8. Merry Christmas from 9-Toe Bill.
There you go.
Fran, it's time for You're Wrong.
Oh,
This is where people write in who are
end of
watching
the
live
year.
on twitch.tv, such kind of funny games. 2, kindoffunny.com/you're wrong, and tell us what we screwed up as we screwed it up. Not we're wrong, but breaking news from nanobiologist. Apparently Fortnite just added split screen to Battle Royale for PS4 and Xbox One.
Okay.
Nanobiologist then goes on to correct himself. Correcting my own You're Wrong from yesterday, the 3DS Ambassador Program was not NES games. It was 10, not SNES games. It was 10 NES games and 10 GBA games that came out 3 months after the program launched. Yesterday he had some wrong information he'd been drinking on the job.
Obviously.
Lord of Pone writes in and says, Spider-Man PS4 is worth $8 trade in at GameStop. 8.8 or $8.80 if you're a pro member. So don't do my
No
thing before.
grifting
You'll
gonna
take a
happen
bath.
there.
You'll take a bath on that one. Yes.
Good. Not bad
Okay,
for
not
the end
bad
of the
at all.
year.
Yeah, not
Pretty
bad
good.
at all.
A little fist bump right
There it is.
there.
I like it. There it is. Zane Gain back at it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. There it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily for the year 2019. Thank you all for your support. It is our honor and privilege to bring the show to you each and every day, let alone get to do everything we do at Kind of Funny. Remember, patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. But more importantly, remember, January 3rd, it's a Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific time to 11 p.m. We will be streaming on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. Of course, we'll be announcing stuff on Twitter and putting up YouTube videos, I'm sure, too. Confirming and talking about everything we're doing in 2020 for Kind of Funny Games 4.0. Remember, even though we won't be with you live the next 2 weeks, except for that Friday, here's how the schedule looks. Monday is Gamescast. Tuesday and Wednesday, PlayStation VR show. Thursday, the Kind of Funny podcast. Friday, Mandalorian in review, the finale. And then the next week, Monday through Thursday, PlayStation VR show every day. And then Friday the 3rd, the stream. Huh?
Oh, I just wooed for PSVR.
It's you and me, buddy.
Yeah.
A Kevin and Greg podcast. We finally made it happen. I love you. All right. Fran, thank you so much for your support.
It has been a pleasure. Yeah, I guess I want to say it since the end of the year already. I can't believe it's been a whole year.
Right.
Doing Gamescast all year,
Right.
coming to Games Daily when the opportunity arises. And so thank you guys for having me. It's been, as I reflect on it, it's just been awesome to be in the same room with my family is what it
Right?
feels
Yeah,
like.
yeah, it's been awesome to have you back.
You guys, obviously spending so much time with you guys at IGN, but then you were gone for a while and I was over there. And now we got to come back together, and thank you for supporting me here. And to the best friends, by the way, thank you for supporting me. You guys have been in Twitch, you've been in the Epic Store. Like, the community you guys have here really is incredible. So I can't wait to see what happens on January 3rd and in 2020.
Can't wait either. Keep up with Fran all break long. He'll be streaming twitch.tv/FM3_. Epic creator code Fran Mirabella.
That's it, exactly. Thanks, Greg.
And
It's been
until next
awesome.
time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been our pleasure to serve you.